what's up, anime fans? It's your boy, Raysean from the Raysean Gadson Anime Podcast, or RGAP for short. And on today's episode, we're interviewing a special guest, learning more about your favorite anime characters and the industry of voice acting as a whole, and also about their personal lives while diving into some interesting anime discussions. If that sounds interesting to you, then sit back and enjoy the ride. Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you're watching.
Right there! So long! I'll handle the rest. Let's crush it.
Okay, brother.
Right there!
Rasengan!
Let's get serious!
Without all that electricity, it's just a ball of glass, isn't it? Hey, kid! If you want her to live, then you're to hand over the Raysean.
Oh, really? Why should I trust you?
You're a lousy coward and pervert! And a hideous reptile!
Loudmouth brat! Hey, what are you waiting for? Quit lollygagging!
Before we get started, I just want to allow my guests the opportunity to introduce themselves, basically tell everybody who you are, what you do, and also tell us your top 2 favorite Naruto or Boruto characters and why.
Hey everybody, my name is Michael Schwalbe. I'm a professional voice actor, performance director, and musician. I haven't been asked my favorite Naruto Boruto characters in a long time. I mean, obviously my number one has got to be Kawaki, because I am Kawaki. But I think my second favorite is probably Sarada. Like she's pretty badass, and it's cool to see like a heroine in the Naruto universe that is not being as squandered as Sakura was.
For sure. And if you, I don't know if you keep up with the manga or anything, it seems like she's gonna have a very big impact to what the story is gonna be having going on. So
yeah, she's not just there to be like the whiny comic relief, or not comic relief, but like the damsel in distress, or just kind of useless character that I think Sakura often ended up being. And so, yeah, I like that a lot. I'm a fan of Sumire. She's pretty cool.
Okay.
So,
I feel like
I like the dynamic going on between her and Kawaki in some things. So I'll say no more.
Yeah, I feel like her character's finally coming together, because like in the beginning she's just working with Amado in the office, and that's pretty much it. But as the manga has progressed in the time skip, you've seen that she's getting more character development as well too. And let's see what her big reveal is, because she's been with Amado for so long. Like, I just can't wait for what's gonna happen more in the manga.
Yeah, I think the story is going some really ambitious and cool places. I am not as up to date on the manga as some are, but I follow a lot of like the spoiler accounts and stuff, mostly because I'm hoping to like actually get some news on what's happening with the show, because they don't tell us anything. So so I know like the major plot points.
See, we know it's coming back. We just don't know when it's coming back.
Yeah, they haven't told me anything. People are like, are you almost done recording the anime? And it's like, bro, we haven't recorded any anime in like 3 years. I finished my last episode like years ago.
Jeez.
And, yeah, it took like more than a year for the episode 294 dub, the final of the first chapter. It was more than a year after we recorded it that dropped. So we've been done for a long time.
Wow. See, I know that I don't know if it's like true, but from like spoiler accounts and other gossip, that I think they wanted going a different direction with Boruto, like animation wise and stuff like that.
I have heard this. I don't know how much to believe it. I mean, what I heard is that the Studio Pierrot was doing more of it, which is awesome because that would be, I mean, they're amazing. But I don't know how much of that was not from like clients or anything. I just saw people on the internet talking about it, and we
Yeah,
all know people on the internet are always correct. So, so it could be totally bullshit. I don't know. But it would not surprise me if the big hiatus is because they want to do something a little more ambitious, and I hope that that's what they do.
for
I
sure.
think that if they like, because the episodes that were really good are like really good. You know, the fight with Kawaki and Garo, like that's one of the best fights in anime. Like, and I'll stand on that. If that whole show was like that, it would be like Demon Slayer. Come on.
Or Kawaki and Code, that fight was amazing at the end.
Yeah.
And just the emotions with Naruto when he was breaking down and all that, I thought that was like pretty much cinema right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we will see.
But before I go ahead and tell everybody my two favorite characters in Naruto, I'm gonna go ahead and let my co-host go.
Yes, my name's Kevin. You guys can find me on YouTube at Cultural Anime. And I'm a few congrats on the show, so it feels good to be back. And for my two favorite characters, I'm going to go two Naruto, two Boruto. For me, as you guys can see, I have Itachi and Sasuke. I'm a big Uchiha fan. I just love the power, the Oculus, design of their Sharingans, the Mangekyo Sharingans, their Susanoo. Like, I'm just a big... And plus, Itachi has one of the best backstories in anime history. You gotta love Sasuke's redemption arc as well, too. Two of the reasons why they're my favorite characters in Naruto. Then for Boruto, I'm gonna go with the two main cast, Boruto and Kawaki. Just their dynamic with each other is truly great, especially on spoiler in the time skip.
For sure. I have to tell everybody, I know a lot of people who just started the Boruto anime. For some reason, they couldn't really get into it because it was kind of starting over the whole Naruto story, which I kept telling people like,
I have some guesses.
but I'm like, man, you guys definitely need to check out the manga because the new Blue Vortex manga has been killing it chapter after chapter after chapter. But also, I want to tell people is that the direction of the writing has changed. The main author did come back. Kishimoto did come back and take over. So I don't know what it was. I don't know if he was reading it on the sideline and was like, this is not what I would do. And I don't like the comments. Let me just go ahead and take back. But it's kind of interesting to see that. But I will say Blue Vortex has been great. What do you think about that, Kevin?
Oh no, hands down, it's been amazing. Like, I feel like the whole series changed once the time skip happened. Like, we all waited for that first episode where we see teenage Boruto versus Kawaki on the statues, and we're thinking, all right, we just want to get there. And slowly but surely, that once the time skip happened, I feel like it elevated the series too. Now people are like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot now.
Yes, I think it gives it its chance to actually be its own thing now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without actually being attached to Naruto, now it's kind of its own, like, now we are our grown-ups. This is us, our story type thing. Yeah. But before we kind of talk more into Boruto and everything, I'm going to just go ahead and give my favorite characters. First, I'm going to go ahead with Naruto. I think the main character of a series always has to be amazing. If they're not good, most likely I'm not going to enjoy it. And that's have always been my big thing with Jujutsu Kaisen, which I've been trying to make it one of my favorite anime, but I just haven't been able to really get behind Ichidori because I just feel like, how do you have a main character and then you pit him by somebody that is such a more amazing character, and I'm supposed to pretend like I'm not supposed to like him more. Like, it's just it just hurts me. And I know some people like, well, they put Naruto next to Kakashi, and I can feel that. I feel it a little bit, but I just feel like Naruto just has so many good moments where you just had to like Naruto. Like, when I first fell in love with him, it has to be his talk no jutsu on Zabata. I feel like when he broke him down and you were able to see this person that came out as an assassin, a villainous type of character, and you get to see the human side of him brought to him just from words, it just shows you just how powerful Naruto is and the type of character he is.
Yeah, well, and you gotta admit, from like, if you're looking on the scope of the character's development, that's a One Piece level like epic narrative journey. Like, has there ever been a character that we have followed from like early stupid ass childhood to like being one of the most incredible? Well, maybe Goku. Honestly, it's like that's about the only other one really is from like deep early goofy childhood to being like Superman basically, and that's just an incredible arc that you got to respect. Like that's what almost 900 episodes now, but between the 3 shows showing Naruto's growth and development. Like that's crazy.
For sure, man. And the hope of us all just watching, like we knowing that he's gonna have to damn near become Hokage, because at a point it was just like y'all just trying to take it from him. Like I don't know what y'all doing.
It's like, what are they gonna do? Not find the One Piece? Like
you know what I mean?
And also, you might enjoy this. I was recording at Nickelodeon Studios last month. I came out of my session, and who did I run into? But
oh, nice.
Sure, that's dope. I just seen a post with her, and she's supposed to be coming to Toledo in Ohio, and I've been trying to decide if I'm just gonna take that 2 to 3 hour drive up there to meet her, try to get her a little.
I mean, she's really nice. I know there's some controversy, but she just people are so cruel to her, honestly, about there's a lot of like young teenage boys that give her a lot of shit because they don't like that the voice of their superhero favorite character is a woman or whatever. And so but she's really awesome. I came out in my session, I saw her, and I was like, oh my God, hey Dad. And she was like, hey.
That's awesome.
That is amazing. And we're talking about Maile Flanagan for anybody out there, because I don't think we said a name.
Yeah. Naruto's voice actress, Maile Flanagan, was there. We had a moment. It was nice.
I just want to be able to meet her, just to be able to bring her on the podcast, because I would love to talk to her. But I think that's interesting that people don't like her as the voice, when a lot of main characters in anime are female voices. But I guess that's more Japanese, on the Japanese side.
Yeah,
but
it's not quite as common, because I mean Amanda gets a lot of flack for Boruto too. It really sucks. She's an amazing actress, but yeah, it's tough out there.
You know what's so funny though? If I didn't really know that was a female without looking it up, I wouldn't even have known that. That's the crazy
thing. She's got a
thing.
really cool voice.
I think she does
perfectly suited for a young, bratty teenage boy.
For sure.
You know what's funny about that? Because I don't want to, go too deep in this conversation, but the internet is not a real place. Because at the end of the day, these people won't go in front of their face and say, what they truly mean. Because they'll say, "Oh my God, I love you," as Naruto and Boruto, but behind the scenes is, "Oh, I hate them." You know what I mean? Like, end of the day, it's a bunch of bullshit.
Well, I mean, it's like I get tons of flack. Like, it's just anime fans, and ultimately, like, you just have to let it roll off you. The funniest thing for me is like that they don't even agree on why they dislike. For instance, my Kawaki. Like, I'll see like 50% of people seem to really like it, and then like 25% will be really mad that I sound too old, and then 25% will be very mad that I sound too much like Sasuke, and then those will fight. They'll be like, no, he should sound deeper and cooler because he sounds like Sasuke. And the other ones will be like, what are you talking about? He sounds like an old man. And so then they'll like fight. And it's like, oh, you're all just dumb kids and you don't actually know what you want. So I don't care at all. I'm getting paid at least. So.
Well, I want to say I think your performance has been amazing. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I mean, I'm a fan, but
well, I hope so. It would hate me. We'd be like, oh, I kind of like wish I could do better. You know what I mean? Like that.
Well, I mean, there is definitely some of that, but there are reasons for that and stories for that too that I won't get into yet.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say what my second favorite character is.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It will have to be my boy Shikamaru. I think Shikamaru has,
all right,
without Naruto, he has had the second biggest come up within the series. Coming from somebody we've seen as didn't want to really do anything, wants to stay behind the scenes, to literally becoming Kakashi's advisor to Naruto's advisor to kind of really being the main person doing a lot of the background work to now actually becoming Hokage, or well, I guess you can say interim Hokage, because they made sure to put that in the last chapter that he's not the actual Hokage. But I just like to see his come up, and the fact that he's not one of those characters that's known for being super powerful, but he can get you with his smarts. You know what I mean? Man.
No, I like Shikamaru because of the dynamic between him and Kawaki, where it's like, man, now I've got to deal with this surly, like, what a drag, like, and it's like, you little, but it's like kind of shines a mirror back on him, and I think that's really fun.
But then it also shows the difference between the mindsets that he has to have because of Naruto. Like, Naruto is going to go ahead and bring you in. Shikamaru has to be like, well, who is he? Like who are we bringing in?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, let's slow your roll.
Oh man, and I just like how what they're doing with him. I want him to be a little bit more badass in the manga, because I just feel like they're not giving him his respect that he deserves. Like, I don't know. I don't want to go too much into it, but it's just like, come on, man. But we're gonna go ahead and jump into what we've recently been watching or listening to. I'm gonna go ahead and let you take the floor, Michael. Anything you want to recommend? New games you've been playing recently?
Yeah, I've been mostly game-wise. I've been playing the hell out of Hades 2. It's just so good. Hades 1, I think, is damn near the perfect video game. I was just incredibly impressed, especially from the voice acting standpoint. Is just really, really great. The direction of the voice acting performances is, I think, illustrates what indie titles can aspire towards, and it's just so goddamn good. Hades 2, I couldn't be more impressed with insofar as like making it its own title with its own flavor, its own mechanics, its own UI, but then still having the exact flavor of the first game. It's a really hard line to ride that most like sequels of good games just don't get right. So I think that's really great. Before that, I was playing Hollow Knight because everybody was losing their mind about Silk Song, and I had never played it. So I beat Hollow Knight like 2 days before Silk Song came out, and then I was like, man, that was so goddamn hard. I don't even want to buy Silk Song, so I still haven't even bought it.
That's for sure, for sure. Any new movies or anything?
At risk of alienating all the people listening, I don't really watch movies or TV.
I feel that. I've kind of gotten a little bit into that, but it's only the fact that I only watch like anime and like scary movies. But other than that,
I've been reading a lot more lately.
Like what?
I just finished the complete H.P. Lovecraft. His collected fiction. That took me a while because it's pretty dense. But so yeah, old time cosmic horror stuff. So that was really, really good. I've also been reading a book on it's called the name of the book is ridiculous. It's called Indeterminate Inflorescence, but it's a book on artistry and like creative, it's like aphorisms on the process of creating and writing by a South Korean poet who's just really, really great. So
nice.
Very artistic and artsy fartsy that y'all probably wouldn't enjoy as much as I do, but it's very fun.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I definitely would like to see it.
It is really cool. He's on another like just another galaxy brain wavelength of like creative brilliance, and so a lot of it is like you just have to digest like little pieces at a time and just be like, what the fuck were you trying to say? Like, what am I missing? Because I know there's something profound here, but this sounds insane. And then like if you sit and think on it for like 15 minutes, suddenly these meanings like start coming up out of what he's saying, and it's pretty cool.
That's amazing. That's amazing. What about you, Kevin? Anything you want to recommend or seen lately?
For gaming, right now I'm currently playing Ghost of Yotei. Truly
hell yeah.
beautiful game. And one thing, when I'm playing a game, if I can enjoy the side missions, I'm gonna love the game, because like some side missions are just boring, and you have to do it because you want to level up and all that stuff. But this right here, it just flows so perfectly. Like I've been playing more of the side missions than I've been playing more of the main missions when it comes to Ghost of Yote. And the scenery, the graphics, it's top tier, second to none. It's truly a beautiful game.
Erika Ishii's performance, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, shout out Erika.
Yeah, she's
binary monarch, the Emperor.
Definitely, she's killing it. Like, I just love it, and oh my god, the game is truly amazing. Like after this, that's what I'll be playing.
Okay.
Any new movies?
Movies. Last week, I just saw the Chainsaw Man Reze movie, which was truly phenomenal. Just a fun, wild experience. And shout out to Mappa Studio; they did a hell of a job animating this movie. It was truly truly great.
Shout out Ryan Levy, amazing. Love that dude.
For sure. I gotta give you an extra shout out because that movie was amazing. Me and Kevin was talking about it because there's been a lot of animated movies coming out recently. You had Demon Slayer, you had Chainsaw, and I think you got Jujutsu Kaisen coming out, which I'm a little disappointed on the Jujutsu Kaisen one because I looked it up. It's not an actual movie type of thing. It's like 2 episodes of the last season and then 2 episodes of the new season coming up, which not bad because I'm hyped for the new season, but I'm like, I don't really like that direction of movies when they do that in anime because I'm like, it seems lazy to me.
Kind of, exploitative.
You know what I mean? But I like the fact that they're releasing a lot of animated movies and they're all doing good right now. So pretty much that lets us know further on in the future, there's going to be a lot more releases. You know what I mean? So, because I think right now, Demon Slayer is like the top movie right now. That's crazy. An animated Japanese movie outselling every other U.S. movie right now. Who would thought? But for movies that I've recently just watched, I just got to watch this indie movie called Zombie Con. It was a movie about it's a horror movie about a zombie apocalypse, and our group of heroes are cosplayers. I got to actually talk to the directors and the creators of the movie.
That's awesome.
It's very interesting. It's really funny. I like the fact that they had this idea and they actually made it. A lot of people, you come up with ideas and you try to do something, but then something gets in the way or just a little something time and then you forget about it. But the fact they actually did it, it took 8 years to actually edit it and actually get it on the screen. It's crazy, but I thought it was pretty good. I like all the anime references they use because the funny thing in this movie, if you watch Bleach, the main weapons they use are Zanpakutos in this movie. It's fucking amazing. I don't know how you feel about that, Kevin, but I know you probably it's a lot. It's lit. It's pretty lit. I think what really kills it because they shows Renji's Zanpakuto, the Bankai form of it, but they couldn't use it to kill because it was so sharp. And he was like, "Man, if we would have used that just on anything, it would have cut right through him." But it was so cool. They showed it though. Other than that, I've been also rewatching Bleach. I wanted to rewatch the Zanpakuto filler arc where you got to see a lot of their Zanpakutos come to life and stuff like that.
Nice.
For sure. I don't know if you guys watched any horror movies because Halloween just recently passed or that you want to talk about.
I just watched Weapons. That was a very interesting movie. I liked it a lot. It was pretty cool. It was very different. And I did watch the last.
Yeah, that did look pretty good. I didn't watch it, but I would watch that.
It's good. I think you'll like it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I like it. And I watched the last Conjuring movie, which I'm not gonna lie to you, pretty good. I got scared a few times.
I watched the last Conjuring movie, and the only thing I didn't like about that movie, right, is the girl, the daughter, she's been with the family the whole time. Like she's seen this shit, it happened. I just feel like she's seen
like Ripley from Aliens, just like, here we go again.
No, I feel like she just felt like new to everything. Like she was doing things that you think somebody who ain't never experienced this shit would be doing. Let's go and let me go talk to the demon.
I guess that's what I mean is like she should have been like that. Like she should have been like, all right, here, but instead, no.
That's why I'm just like, oh, I don't know if you feel the same way about that, Kevin, but I'm just sitting here like, what the hell? Like,
the whole thing I would say is her boyfriend. Like, if I'm that situation, I love you, babe, but I gotta go. I can't be dealing with this. I can't be dealing with demons in my life. Like, this is not for me. Like, love you a lot,
The
but
first time, like I can just chalk that up to like bad luck. But now I'm kind of thinking it's you.
Because I think at the end, you're talking about when they're kind of passing the torch and they're kind of like, yeah, you're going to take over the house now. Yeah, I wouldn't want that house either. Like, you can keep all that demon shit. Like, man. But see, they get you in the first movie because they be like, well, sometimes it's better to keep the genie in the box. You know what I mean? Because if you let these demons out, you don't know what's going to happen. And then you're like, well, shit. Like, God dang.
Well, maybe they won't be my problem then, though.
You know what I mean? Well, with that, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into our interview. I'm going to go ahead and let Kevin go ahead with the first question.
Did you know how important Kawaki would be to the series when you first took the role?
No, I didn't know anything. I'd never watched a thing about Boruto. I just got an audition and I recorded it and sent it off. And 2 weeks later, I got a call back that they said they wanted a younger sounding version. So I did that, did another scene, sent it off. And then I didn't hear anything for 5 months. And so I was like, oh, well, I guess I didn't get it. And then they're like, yeah, we want Kawaki, and also we want you to go back to the older sounding voice print again. Like, oh, okay, well, I guess I should see what this dude is about, like Googling, and then go like YouTube, Kawaki versus Garo, 7 million views, and I was like, what? And it was like the hypest I've ever been. That it was like, oh my God, this guy is so fucking cool. And then it didn't really change my life that much. So, but you know, I can't stop Viz from squandering their own show if they really, really want to.
I can feel that. I feel that. I mean, was that your first big character?
I mean, I would say in anime probably. Yeah, I'd had, some named anime characters before. I was like one of the I was the main character's Beyblade in the last 2 seasons of Beyblade, and so like I had some people care about that, but like not crazy. And I was one of the main-ish characters in Transformers War for Cybertron, Double Dealer, and so like some people cared about that, but in terms of anime, it was one of the first that was like actually a big-ish deal. And certainly the first that started getting me any attention at like convention appearances.
Nice.
Okay. Were you familiar?
Certainly the one that I get the most fan art and stuff from. So.
Oh, that's cool.
For sure.
So if you've given me fan stuff, people watching, it's here on my shrine.
That's awesome.
Were you familiar with the series of Naruto?
Yeah, I mean, I was a big anime nerd in high school and going into college, and I was old enough that like the first Naruto was a little too juvenile for me at the time, and so I was into like Outlaw Star and I've still got the DVD set that I bought at Suncoast in 2003 or whatever, and I love Outlaw Star, Wolf's Rain, the more mature shows for my worldly high school self, and so yeah, or Tenchi Muyo kind of stuff, but so I didn't watch much of Naruto when it first came out, and then by the time Shippuden was like all the rage, I had kind of gotten out. I was trying to get my metal band off the ground. I was like just out of college, and I was just not in the anime world at all anymore. So like I never watched any Shippuden, and so then I didn't really start watching anime again until probably like maybe only 5 or 6 years ago, really. Kind of pandemic stuff and like revisiting some of the old shows and just checking out kind of what was new in the world. And so, but I'm familiar, especially now, after being in the Naruto grander universe for a few years, I'm pretty familiar with the general plots and characters and stuff. But
So, do you have any like favorite shonens, or did you kind of stay more into like the adult realm?
Does Inuyasha count?
Yeah, I guess Inuyasha would count.
That was like the first show. How about Rurouni Kenshin?
Yeah, I like Rurouni Kenshin. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that was that. So Kenshin and Inuyasha and Ranma 1/2 and
Okay, I see
what
where
else
you
did
at.
I have?
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh yeah, big love.
I know
Oh
exactly
my
where
God.
you.
Classic.
Yu Yu Hakusho
Classic.
is maybe like next to Outlaw Star is like my all-time. I've watched the whole season, this whole series a couple times, and man, what like it honestly it kills me that how good the performances back then were because things have just changed in the anime world a lot since those like venerable days, and I don't know if it's the way that they were dubbing or like I have theories, but I think the performances are just so good. Even like the old Inuyasha performances, Richard Ian Cox, like they're just so good. Or Cowboy Bebop, everybody says that dub is great, but I think Outlaw Star is better personally.
So
yeah,
do you?
So I like Shonen stuff too, but Yu Yu Hakusho is so great.
So do you?
Yoko Kurama, one of the all-time coolest characters. Come on.
For sure. So do you think that like the older voices acting is like it hasn't really kept up with like the newer generation?
So okay, I'll just say my theory is that
This is
in
interesting.
the old days, late 90s, early 2000s, a lot of anime people were like theater trained professional actors that were doing dubbing on the side as like some gigs to fill in stuff, and it was not the phenomenon it is now, and so the performances were still really theatrical, really emotion driven. They were really good and grounded and immersed in the characters, and so but the dub process, because you're having to fit lip flaps and timing and stuff, it can sometimes make a performance sound kind of stilted or give the anime sound, quote unquote. Well, back then, that anime sound was the byproduct of the dubbing process. It was not like the way anime is just supposed to sound. But then, fast forward 20 years, you have a generation of new, younger talent that grew up being obsessed with anime. They don't know that the anime sound was just a artifact of the dub process. They think anime is supposed to sound that way. So now you have a bunch of actors who just put on the anime voice and have like that stilted kind of they took everything from me like anime cadence, but without like a cause for it. They're not doing it because the dub like just made it sound that way. They're doing it because they think anime is supposed to sound that way. So to me, a lot of the modern anime dubs are totally like emotionally ungrounded. They just seem like they're really formulaic and cadenced based on this misunderstanding of like what caused the anime sound to begin with. That is my pet theory. There are definitely still some really great, like Chainsaw Man, an amazing dub. Ryan is an amazing actor, and like Denji is just a masterclass in like bringing it back, like emotionally grounded, but also just incredibly zany at times and like violent, and so there are a lot of really great dubs still. I don't believe in the whole dub versus sub argument. I think the people that think subs are better are like, you don't speak Japanese. You can't make that determination. Sorry. And I know that it's not better because in Japan, they say the same things about the performances being like silly or over the top emotionally that we say about dub stuff. So like, if they think that their language sounds silly and we think our language sounds silly, it's probably all the same, guys. Like, there's no superiority either way here.
For sure. You're just hearing it the best way you can hear it type thing. It's
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
really.
Because like Japanese doesn't even have the same syntax, like not even close. So when you're like, well, I can tell the emotional beat. No, you can't. You don't. The verb is at the end of each sentence. They have parts of grammar that our language doesn't even have. You don't know what emotional beat is happening at any point in that sentence. Like, miss me with it.
You know, some people just want to talk. You know,
They just want to talk. Some people just want to talk.
Whew.
And I just managed to do that and still get paid for it.
Man, that is the goal. You know what I mean? Get paid for doing something that you love to do. For my next question, I want to ask you is basically, what do you find most rewarding about being a voice actor?
The rare times that we get to tell a character's story that also resonates with our own personal lives, and for me that definitely is Kawaki, and it's really been a privilege to tell his story, and I do see a lot of myself in him, and thankfully my childhood was not quite so overly traumatic, but it
man.
and I am also the voice of young Kawaki, which a lot of people don't know.
Oh wow.
So those were some brutal episodes to record for sure, but a lot of it does line up with my experiences. So it's like cathartic, and also like I have a deep respect for it. And also I genuinely think that Kawaki is one of the best like portrayals of the effects of PTSD and how they like play out in your relationships and your emotional intelligence, like in all of media. Like they did an insanely good job of like realistically depicting how childhood trauma of that extent can color your interactions with people, and not just making it like, you know, so many animes do, like, oh, he's just this tragic, misunderstood character. So they give like one exploitative episode and then he's like just kills a lot of people or something. You know, it's not just a token that we see in a lot of things. So I'm just really impressed with the whole series, honestly. But you know, it's also very rewarding to, because I do a lot of like production side stuff with casting and session direction. So something like a game like Zenless Zone Zero, for instance, in MiHoYo, that I was senior voice director for that for a year and a half and directed some 800 hours of sessions. And so getting to like spearhead the creative direction of like an entire franchise like that, and like getting to help so many world-class talent bring a story and a character to full richness and to full life, the best of their ability, that's also super rewarding.
For sure. I like that you hit on like Kawaki's mental, because I always thought that was something interesting that they did with the character, because you kind of get to see his relationship with Naruto kind of develop differently on both sides, where you kind of see Naruto being nice, kind of inviting him in to be like a son to him, you know what I mean? But then Kawaki's taking that as like, this is my father, I need to protect him, and that type of thing, to the point where he's overdoing it, to the point he's kidnapped Naruto, and now he's basically betrayed Boruto just for this mindset that he's trying to protect Naruto. So it's like having this child trauma and all this stuff get to him to this point, and we kind of seeing it all play out is very interesting. I do like that about the character.
Yeah, I completely agree. And while in a lot of, like in Borderlands, for instance, you know, they tried to retcon Handsome Jack into being this like morally gray kind of anti-hero sort of character, and like I hate that shit. Like sometimes, you know, you can have a villain just be a villain, like that's fine. But in Kawaki's case, I'm really glad they didn't do that, because I think that the way they have played things out shows that like you can be completely rational and completely like authentic in how a character would behave based on their circumstances, and have it be damaging to the people around them without it just being this like, oh, he's the bad guy, so he does bad things, like checking the box kind of shit. And for somebody like Kawaki that never knew a single moment of safety his entire life, like from being an abused kid at the hand of his alcoholic father and being forced to do child labor, to having his pets killed in front of him, to being locked in like being starved, being like, you know, there's so many horrific things, child trafficked, experimented on. Like, he had a wretched life. And so then when somebody for the first time ever shows him genuine acceptance and kindness, it makes complete and total sense that like, this now becomes your anchor. Like, for the rest of your entire life circles around that, and nothing else is as important as that life raft that you're clinging to. So if it requires sacrificing everything else, everybody else, every other city, like, as long as you can keep that one place of safety that you found, people that have like never been in a situation that unsafe, or that like have never been that unanchored, just don't understand really how consuming that drive for security is. And so but I think Ikamoto really gets it, and they've totally accurately portrayed that element of it. So I think he's doing everything completely the way he realistically would, and so it's really satisfying to explore that.
Yeah, it's funny because, granted, we haven't seen it in the anime, but in the manga, we see the next arc where the level he will take to protect Naruto at any cost, and even taking down his own quote unquote brother. Like, it's just, you know, granted, we joke about his obsession with Naruto, but we get it because he never had nothing. Like, he just wanted to belong to something, and somebody gave it to him, and he would do anything to make sure that he's safe.
Well, it's
And
like,
then you got to think
I was
everything's
empty.
always been taken from him, so it's like,
Right. Like, everything else is transient. He's never had anything else. So like, every other relationship, every other person, every other pet, like possession, everything else is like basically ephemeral to him, because it just everything comes and goes. He's just this empty husk, this vessel. And so it doesn't matter to him if he loses a brother, or loses a village, or loses himself. He didn't feel like he ever really had any of those things to begin with. So if it means he can still keep this one thing that he does have, which is his security in Naruto's love for him.
for sure. Go ahead, Kevin. What's your next question?
Well, talking about Boruto, how do you interpret their dynamic relationship? Would you say it's more of a friendly rivalry, a brotherhood, or do you think it's something else entirely?
I think it's all three of those, you know, at different points in the arc. It certainly starts out as unfriendly rivalry, but then, you know, that rapidly transitions into a like brotherly beating each other up. I think the fight when they're both peeing on the house is one of my favorites, like, in the whole show. It's so funny, but it also, like, man, if you grew up with siblings, like, that's brothers, like, you know,
For
just
sure.
beating the crap out of each other over stupid shit, and then like your parents yelling at you from the bathroom and whatever. Like, it's just very funny. So I love that they explored that, and that they let him have that. And then I think now, you know, what it's turned into is kind of unfathomable. It's like, it's taken, you know, we see each step along the way, and each one makes sense, but like, it's just been carried so far beyond like a normal brotherly dynamic that what do you even describe it as? Like, how can you steal somebody's whole life? That's never happened. I've never read of anything like that in any other book or series. Like, it's a super creative and ambitious plot that they're exploring now. So yeah, I think the sky's the limit, and I have no idea what to expect, really.
Sure. I want to ask you, what do you think really like made him go so extreme? Like, what made him trigger to make him like, I gotta take Naruto and I need to put him in another dimension? I say it has to be the moment where he noticed that Naruto wouldn't be able to kill Boruto.
Yeah, probably. Where it's like, in his mind, it's, I tried to give you the autonomy, I tried to give you the space to do what you needed to do, and you are too weak to do it. So I will save you from yourself where you are incapable of it. And there you go.
For sure. All right, moving on to my next question I want to ask you is, do you think there's any misconceptions about voice acting?
Yeah, I think everything. I don't think anybody knows a single real thing about voice acting at all. I don't think there are any conceptions of voice acting.
Wow. So what do you think are the most common?
Oh man. Well, I mean, voice acting is such a spectacularly diverse field that it's hard to even know where to start, because like the field, like commercial and promo and audiobooks and like radio ads, and like it's all so wildly different. And a lot of people do, they'll do phone system like prompts, or like narrating law textbooks, and they couldn't be, they're about as far removed from the world of anime as anybody is, really. So it's just hard to say. I think probably in the anime world, the biggest misconception is that you can make a living being an anime actor. You just definitely cannot. Not even close. You can be like you can make a living like doing conventions. But anime itself pays so fantastically badly that it's just not possible. You have to be doing honestly, even doing video games also if you're doing video games and anime, that's almost impossible to make enough money to support yourself. So most people are doing a combination of like audiobooks and games and anime and commercials and whatever they can to like pay the bills. And the ones that aren't getting the commercials, which is where more of the money is at, they're all living together. There's like anime houses with like 4 different professional, well, not even professional, they are professional, but 4 different like LA anime actors that all have to live together and share rent in order to make ends meet, and then they're going to conventions on the weekends and shit. But like 0.1% of them like actually make enough to have like a reasonable living.
That's one thing, because when you were talking about all the other different fields of voice acting, because a lot of people tell me that's where all the money is. Like if you're doing anime, you're kind of just doing it for the love of the game.
I averaged, I did out the math. After 100 episodes of Boruto, I averaged about $80 an episode. No residuals, no royalties, nothing.
I guess it really depends on like, are you just getting $80 after every session, or does that add up and they putting on like a check like after 5 episodes?
So it's like 60. Well, it was $64.50 an hour with like an extra $20 if you did an extra episode, and so you would just get booked for like 2 to 4 hours, and however many you get through. But so sometimes you've only got a couple lines per episode. Sometimes you've got like a lot. But when I averaged it out, it was about $80.
Because that's one thing I do tell people: you do probably get a nice hourly rate, but you might only be in there for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, and then also that might be your only session that week.
Dang! So now you only made whatever.
Yeah.
Off that three.
Most all the actors that are in those like Demon Slayer movies, Jujutsu Kaisen, I know almost all of them. They're making like $300.
Man,
and they got nothing. There's no royalties. There's no there's no merchandise fees. It's really exploitative.
Jeez.
And I know hearing how much a movie made is just be heartbreaking.
Like when you say it's number 1 at the box office, it grossed $30 million, and then your main character gets the $450 session fee and nothing else. Like, go fuck yourselves, honestly. I don't know. I don't do hardly any anime anymore. Boruto is about the only. I mean, I guess it's not true. I did Record of Ragnarok and a few others, but even that, like, I was one of the main fighters in season 2, riding Tamimon, and I think that made me $900. So like you just can't live off of it, especially not in Los Angeles where, your
Yeah.
rent is $3,000 a month.
Yeah, jeez.
Ooh. Okay, for my next question I want to ask you is, what emotion do you find hard to portray?
That's an interesting question. I don't. I guess I don't know. I don't know if I would say any of them. I feel like if you struggle portraying certain emotions, that's like ground zero of like you need to fix that before you try to get into this career because you are demanded and pulled in so many different directions that you need to have like a pretty immaculate and masterful command of the emotional languages. So I think if we go on like difficult personally to portray, I think difficult is a subjective word in itself because there's lots of emotions, like some of the ones that I had to pull out for young Kawaki in his like really abusive episodes, that maybe it's emotionally difficult to put myself back in a lot of those places that I had personally experienced, and we had to take some breaks because it's just so heavy. But because of my emotional experiences growing up and honestly even as an adult, that it's because of those that I'm able to portray some of these emotions authentically and accurately. So even if it's like really hard to put yourself back in those positions, it's like because I'm a student of life and of the human experience, like I'm able to do that. So it's like simultaneously easy to tap into. Like I can make myself cry like sitting here, in 30 seconds. I could just because you have like a library of experiences and emotions that you've endured that you can tap into at a certain point. And so that because that's easy for me to tap into, it doesn't make it more pleasant like an experience. So in that regard, it's like difficult, quote unquote. But that's hopefully why in these sessions you've got like a director, and I try to do this when I'm directing, to be a like sounding board and a guide and like a comforting hand on your shoulder, like as you are guiding these actors through these really difficult and vulnerable experiences. So it's a really wonderful and occasionally challenging responsibility overall. So that was an interesting question.
Okay. I'm gonna let Kevin go ahead and ask the next one.
All right, I want to have a little fun right here.
All right, have fun.
Outside looking in, it looks like, oh man, you did a good job. It was easy, no headaches. Do you remember a recording session where you walked out and you was like, you know what, I killed it today? And has it been a recording session where you walked out and was like, damn, I think I fucked up today?
In Boruto or just in general?
In general.
Oh yeah, I mean, all the above. Somebody's calling me. Go away. I'm being interviewed. No. Let's see. How can I not throw any clients or whatever under the bus? So the sessions that, well, I mean, there have been times where I feel like I've killed it. I like to think by the time I get in the booth, the clients are really happy for me to be there, and it's a really fun, collaborative, exciting atmosphere. Usually, like Bug Snacks, for instance, we were laughing until we were crying, just coming up with these ridiculous voices for these creatures. And I've got my weenie worm. Weenie worm. And or like there's a game, Section 13, that came out maybe like 6 months ago, and I was one of the like boss fights, this scientist Tucker, and I love it, especially indie games that give you like space to improv and like ad lib. I'm really good at just coming up with lines on the fly, and And so, like, I distinctly remember one point, like, the client and the director are, again, just, like, laughing until they cry. And the session ended, and the director, Jen, who's also a dear friend of mine that we don't get to work together nearly often enough, but she's like, Michael, you are just a fucking genius. Like, that was spectacular. And it's like, you know, you walk out like floating on air, you know, so those kind of sessions are really amazing. Or if you get a commercial and you knock it out in 3 takes and they're like, wow, I thought that was going to take an hour and we're done in 10 minutes. Sweet. Like, hell yeah. Sessions that don't go like that, honestly, are usually not my fault. It's usually, if a session goes really poorly, it's almost always technical problems. Like, I had I forget what anime it was, but maybe it was like ReZero or Sword Art Online, something like that. And no, I think it was ReZero. Anyway, it was doing a remote session, a Walla remote session, which is pretty rare, where you're just doing background vocals and you got like a big group, and so then they stitch them together for crowd scenes and background voices and stuff. But they were having some kind of crazy tech issues, and we're like 30 minutes turns into an hour, turns into 90 minutes, and we're all like sitting there the whole time on the call. And it was supposed to be a 10 till noon session. Noon rolls around, and I'm like, I didn't eat anything today because I thought I was going to be done now. We haven't even started. And then I'm like, well, maybe they were just going to get told to go, and then we'll get a second session fee and get booked. And then they come on, they're like, hey, so I think we figured out the problem. Are y'all able to like still stay and do this? And it was like, come on. So like, I didn't end up getting to like eat until almost 3 o'clock. And so the 2-hour session turned into 5 because of studio problems. But
you were still on that rate, right?
Yeah, so I ended up getting 5 hours of pay, which was nice, and actually ended up kind of just having group therapy. It was like 10 of us actors, and then the director like just sitting on Zoom, like shooting the shit and getting real for like 2 hours. So that was kind of cool.
That's cool.
But yeah, so you never really know what's going to happen. But I don't think I can remember a session that I got hired for that like I couldn't do it, or like maybe I did an unsustainable voice for the audition and then like couldn't hang in the set. That almost never happens.
You got another question, Kevin?
Oh, there have been a couple times where I was trying to be funny and would like make some jokes, and you know the director
and it didn't land.
Does not land. Like, and so then it's not like that anything bad happened.
You're like, was that in the script?
you just get out of the session going, man, did they just hate me, or like was I an ass? Like, what happened? But you know, it's not like anything really happens about it.
That's funny.
So anyway.
All right, for my final question, what kind of fan reactions has surprised you the most since you've been taking on this role for Kawaki? Fan reaction has surprised you the most since you've been going to conventions?
Has
anyone said?
I don't know if it's a surprise. I mean, maybe the surprise is that I have any.
Oh my jeez.
Well, because you know, for years, Viz wasn't putting the dub out anywhere except on Blu-ray and DVD sets, and so for like the first 2 years of my episodes technically being out and me being the voice of Kawaki, nobody even knew that the dub exists. It wasn't streaming anywhere. It wasn't like available anywhere except on DVD. And that was so weird. It was like almost 2 years after I got announced that finally they started putting them on Hulu, my episodes anyway. So yeah, it was kind of anytime I would meet somebody, whether out and about or like at a convention or honestly even on the internet, that like really was a big fan of my, not just the show, but of my performance as Kawaki. I was always as excited to meet them as they were to meet me, where it's like, oh my God, you actually saw the English dub? Nobody watches that English dub. That's amazing. So it's always just fun because I'm a big fan of Kawaki too, and so we can just kind of nerd out. I think in person, like anytime that somebody takes the time to like draw me something is just so fucking cool, and is really meaningful. Or like times when people have told me that like, you know, my performance as Kawaki and his character have helped them like work through some of their childhood trauma. Like that really makes it just so meaningful. So it really is an honor, and I just love to. Every person I meet that is a fan of the show is just a joy.
Have you done any cons with Boruto? With the voice actors?
Not in person. I have met Amanda in person at conventions, but I was never also guesting them. But actually, we did do a collaboration on. Let me see if you can see this. I found this amazing artist and then commissioned this sick ass poster.
Oh
yeah, that looks dope.
Of the two brothers in like a pretty realistic style, and then we had 100 of those printed up, and we both like I signed 50 and mailed them to her, and she signed 50 and mailed them to me, and so then we've like done this double signing for conventions and stuff. So that was very fun to collaborate with her on that. And
if there's any more, I will be interested.
Yeah, I still do, because nobody like watches Boruto, so I think we both still have about 40 of them left.
If you want to send me one, you definitely could do that.
They're pretty cool.
Moving on to my next question, I want to basically ask you, do you have any advice for anybody that wants to get into voice acting?
Yeah. Don't. No, if you are of the form of mental illness that just feels the compulsion to do this, like we do, my main piece of advice is to go into Discord and look up Voice Acting Club, or you can Google it. The Voice Acting Club is by far the best voice actor group on the internet. It's mostly character focused, but there's really great thorough guides on like every aspect of the industry. It's run by Kira Buckland, who is 2B in Nier Automata. She was Jolene in Stone Ocean. So like, it's really well run with multiple very established professional actors that like moderate the place. So like, you just can't beat that. And the free mentoring and guides and resources there are just second to none. So, and you can make some friends there too. It's pretty big now. So, and there's because it's gotten so big, if public casting calls for independent animations or like indie games and stuff that get posted on Twitter, people will like find them and then post them there in the casting call channels. So like, there's good opportunities that show up there too. Back when I was really active in there, I landed thousands of dollars in work off stuff I found in that Discord. And now I'm not auditioning for those, so maybe you have a chance. But it's a great place. Other than that, I would say just the best thing you can do is, like I said earlier, just be a student of life, and like every experience, every person, every like part is part of a story, whether it's your story or someone else's story. And ultimately, as actors, that's what we're doing, is telling stories as authentically as possible. So the greater and richer your personal experiences can be, the greater and richer the acting performances you can give are going to be. So just go out and live. Don't just sit in the box.
For sure. I agree with that. I always tell people that you got to experience life. That's how I feel like, because me personally in the entertainment business, I've always been a fan of comedians. And I feel like you can always tell those different comedians who've experienced life, just the fact that they're able to have longevity. They've been able to tell jokes for years and years and years. And that's because they've been able to experience different things and put that into different standards.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, and we're going to my last question. I just want to go ahead and ask you, what are your remaining goals and aspirations within the field of voice acting?
Yeah, so for many years, my biggest like remaining kind of white whale was I wanted to do union, what's called prelay animation. It's like the opposite of dubbing. In dubbing, you've got the animation and then you put the voice to it. In prelay, you perform and then they animate to your performance. So Pixar, Nickelodeon, Adult Swim, like the cartoons as we would think of them, it's in probably the last bastion of like the way that the old way that things you were in Hollywood, where like you would get the ensemble cast together. A lot of times you go in person to the studios, it pays really well. And so but as a result, it's insanely competitive. You have to be just the best of the best of the best to possibly manage to get in there. And I remember at one point I was several years into, like, I had my national agency in Los Angeles and I was living in Los Angeles, and I just was not getting any of these animated auditions that I was going for. And so I sat down with my agents and I was like, are my reads just not good enough? Like, am I missing something? And they were like, no, you're competitive, but these are union jobs, and if a client can pay union scale and hire Fred D or Tom, Fred Tatasciore, D Bradley Baker, or Tom Kenny, they're gonna hire them instead of you. And it was like, I get it, or like Mark Hamill, like in those, you're competing against everybody, and at that point, celebrities, Chris Pratt as Mario, everybody. So my biggest goal was just figure out a way to like beat my head through that door until I could get there. And so this last year has been really exciting in that regard. I got my first named recurring character in a union prelay animation, a show for Adult Swim that I still can't talk about.
Nice.
And I did not one, but two one-off, still named characters, but guest characters for two different Nickelodeon shows. So got to record in person at the studio. So that was incredibly exciting. And I would say that like just leaning even more into that world is my current big goal. Is just, it's so fun to contribute to a form of media that was so important to me growing up. I mean, getting to be in a Nickelodeon show, come on, that's amazing. So
that's dope.
I would say that's probably still I mean, technically I've bucket listed it by getting those, but like, I want more. I want to be in there. I want to get some meatier roles and just show the world what I'm capable of. Because a lot of kind of, even in the game world, where I've probably had the most big credits, I'm kind of known as like a vocal chameleon, like a utility player. I can do a insane number of different voices, quote unquote, and so, or creatures and monsters. So a lot of what I've done is stuff like that, where it's like I'm bringing these monsters to life, or demons and creatures and NPCs, but none of it's like really focal point, narrative driven kind of stuff like Kawaki, where I'm really telling stories. It's just fleshing out the world. And so while that is gratifying and I love doing that work and I'm very good at it, I would like to do more narrative work where I can really dig into a character's psyche and like their motivations, because that's what makes my brain tick. So we're getting there.
Nice. You'll get there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the door, and my agent told me that after one of these bookings, she was like, let me tell you what the casting director said in her booking email. She said, "We are so glad to be able to finally have a role for Michael. Several of the auditions he's been sending in lately have been just incredibly hilarious." And it's like, they remember. So like, when you're just throwing, people don't, that's another misconception, is how much we are auditioning. I do like 5 to 10 like every day, just about. Like that is the job, is just constantly grinding auditions. So the fact that, in this case, I know that I'm not just throwing these into a well, that people heard it and they remembered and they thought it was good, that's like, ugh. So
I know that got to be a good feeling because
Yeah,
sometimes you just sit back thinking like, "Dang, are anybody even listening to this? Am I
yeah,
just sending this?" And like, but knowing that they actually taking the time and be like, we've been trying to find something for them, and now we did.
yeah, it was really great. And then I got in another one of her shows a few weeks later, so it's like, let's
yeah,
go.
you in there? Yeah. But before we wrap up, I just want to ask you: is there anything else you want to talk about or discuss, or let us know that that's about to come out?
It's hard because like so much of what we do is like non-disclosure forever. Like, what can I even talk about?
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys like good metal, you can always go look up my old metal band stuff. It's always fun when people come across that. But
Okay.
it's not really many. I'm not doing any conventions coming up here.
Okay. Yeah, you got Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah, it's all like holiday stuff now for the most part. Yeah, not really. I'm kind of just cruising. I'm coming out of a really crazy time in my life where I basically did the Kawaki thing of having to choose myself over like everything else around me, and just got divorced, cut out a whole bunch of toxic people in my life, and like totally reinvented kind of who I needed to be, because the alternative was like dying basically. And so now it's like after I got through that, in everything kind of finished ish in June, and so kind of on my own come up now, and so the last like 5 months, it's been crazy to see like how much better your performances and bookings and like career can be when you are free to create, when you get out like all the negativity and the baggage and stuff that has been dragging you down. Suddenly it's like, wow, I'm actually good at this job. Who knew? So yeah, I'm kind of just in that arc and exploring that. The weather is gorgeous finally in Vegas and in the desert, so I've just been spending as much time like out in the wilderness, dirt biking and hiking and fossil hunting, and that's usually what I'm doing if I'm not in the booth. So I mostly just want to be out in the wastelands. So
Oh, that's amazing. I'm glad you're enjoying your life and being able to explore different things.
life is pretty good right now.
Oh man, I know it's a lot of us out there that probably need to do the same thing, and that probably just gave some people some motivation to look at
Well,
their
yeah. Well, then I'll give them some more. That the most important thing you can do is to externalize yourself. You got to take yourself and the life you've been living on autopilot, and you've got to live with intentionality, meaning that like if you wouldn't write the story of your own life in a book, if you wouldn't read that story in a book, why are you living that story? You know? Write a story of your own life with you as the protagonist that you would want to read about. And if you make that your like externalized third person omniscient narrator of your own life kind of vision, you'll be shocked at how much more life there is to live, even amidst all this bullshit that the country is going and the world is going through right now. You know, there's always possibility, there's always hope. I firmly believe in the indomitability of the human spirit and people's capacity for like self reinvention. So you can do it too. I believe in you.
For sure. And I'm taking a lot of that in myself, because it's a lot of stuff that I want to do that I'm not doing that I know would fulfill me if I just go ahead and try to do it. You know what I mean?
Well, man, so many of us are so depressed, and we're deep in the trenches of experience and obligation, and like it's so hard to get your eyes out of that. And so that's why this like third person view of it can be helpful. Is like when I was just in deep misery, deep depression, didn't have any passions or hobbies, and didn't know who I was, I still knew that like, well, maybe I don't know what hobbies I want to try to do or how to put myself out there, but like I think XYZ things are cool, and dirt bikes and rock hunting. What I think those are so cool that like I'm willing to fantasize and like write stories about these characters that are doing all that. Why, if I think it's cool enough to write about, why am I not doing it? So it was like I'll be that character. I'll just do that. And so I was like, all right, I'll just go learn how to ride a dirt bike. I'll go walk into the desert and see if I find any cool rocks. And then like little by little, you start like putting these pieces together of a more fulfilling life, but not a fulfilling life that by society's standards, a fulfilling life by your own standards. And so if fulfilling to you is going out and picking up rusty nails in the desert, who gives a shit if society thinks that that's a worthwhile expenditure of your time? It doesn't matter. It got you out of the house, you're touching grass or at least sand, and you're living. And that beats the shit out of scrolling TikTok and Twitter and wondering like when the world is going to end.
Yeah, watching other people live their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least trying to look like it, you know?
Yeah, Michael, I'm gonna have to agree with you. Like, I've been down that road before in my lifetime, and it's to see how you build yourself up from the person you once were. It's amazing. And one thing I have to say is, take a chance at anything, because I've been there and I have took so many chances that I never felt comfortable in. Like, getting out of your shells and help you grow as a person as well too. And like you said, picking up nails, if that's your thing, that is your thing. Does not matter if Bobby said that's dumb. No, if you love it, you love it.
One of the coolest things that I have learned after, you know, doing this journey for the last 5 years of reinvention is how absolutely magnetic it is to other people that are aimless and driftless if you are just unabashedly passionate about the pursuit of whatever your stupid thing is. Like, we live in such an irony poisoned, cynical, miserable world that like genuine radical sincerity and earnest pursuit of something is like this. It's like the Naruto to these people, you know. It's this like guiding light of like, wait, I can do that. I can just unironically think something is super fucking cool even if it's really weird and dumb. Oh, well,
yeah,
okay.
I could be a person.
Like, I've gone out at like midnight with random friends and like with my roller magnets and shit. I have actually collected more than 1,000 pounds of rusty nails. This is not a joke. And I'm teaching myself how to weld now, and I'm making weird desert art, bitch. Like, it's awesome.
Okay, well, at least you can use the nails for something.
So if you just had a random person on the street and you're like, hey, do you want to go pick up nails? They'd be like, what? But like, if you are passionate about it, it's so weird and out there that people are like, well, I mean, kind of, yeah. Like, I've never done that before. And so then you give them this like job site roller magnet and suddenly they're vacuuming the desert and you've got all this cool rusty metal. And it's like, why is this as awesome as it is? I don't know, but it's sweet. And then you find rocks and fossils and like other cool, weird shit people have left out in the desert, and it rules. So go out and find weird shit.
Yep.
Yes, be willing to have fun and stop trying to be too cool for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is so much cooler to be unabashedly weird. It's so great. People constantly are like, "So, who are you cosplaying?" Me, motherfucker. Like, I dress. This is tame. I'm. If people are following me on social, I look pretty weird most days, but like, once you get used to people like looking at you strangely, you realize that they're actually looking at you with jealousy.
Yeah, I wish they could do that.
Like, oh, I wish I had that Lamborghini, but of just to like,
I wish I felt that comfortable.
Why is this person so authentic? Like, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
Why am I not wearing tattered clothes and looking like the main character of a cool ass video game I want to play? Life is too short to be boring.
Yep. Agreed.
And with that, we end today's episode. I want to thank my guests for coming on and chatting it up with us.
Thank you for letting me monologue at y'all. Thanks for asking some great questions.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun, and I hope you listeners did too. I've learned so much more about the industry of voice acting. And
I'm sorry it was all depressing.
Well, you know, we learned your experience. I can't tell you what your experience is. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and honestly, everybody's experience is different. Although I think most anime people would pretty much agree with me on the anime problems. But like, you can absolutely go out and just make shit, and you should. Like, creation is the closest thing to divinity that we've got. Like, I believe, you know, the Bible says God made us in his image. I don't think that means in a physical image. I think God made us to be creators. And that's our calling, is to put something into the world that didn't exist before we came about. So go out and make weird shit with your friends. Go and do the free casting calls on Voice Acting Club. Make a little studio in your closet. Do stuff that sucks. That's still good. Like, the only thing that sucks is not making something. So go forth.
Before we close out, I just want to allow my guests the opportunity to plug themselves, basically tell the audience where they can find you. So basically just give everybody your social media.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, actor Michael Schwalbe. It's MICHAELSCHWALBE. That's also my LinkedIn. I don't really use Twitter anymore because it's a Nazi shithole, but you can find some of my old stuff there. Or I'll post like job announcements sometimes if I got new roles. That's What He Said VO, and not actor Michael Schwalbe for reasons. And I deleted my TikTok. I'm on Blue Sky. My Blue Sky is just my name. It doesn't really matter. There aren't many other Michael Schwalbes around, so if you Google me, you'll find me.
For sure. What about you, Kevin?
All right, you guys can find me on YouTube at Culture Anime.
And with that, I just want to say, peace.